In 2009, Rocksteady Studios released one of the finest video games ever, Batman Arkham Asylum. Never had there been such an exceptional marriage between video games and a high-profile license before, except maybe Revolution X. Fans everywhere rejoiced as the Caped Crusader had finally been done justice in the world of gaming. The Unreal Engine 3 brought to life the gothic, eerie world of Arkham Asylum, complete with all manner of Batman's great foes and their plethora of stylish henchmen, all drenched in the moon-soaked atmosphere of the island that had players exploring for upgrades, solving riddles, and battling waves of foes with one of the most fine-tuned combat systems ever seen in a video game. I got 1000 gamer score on the Xbox 360 version, and I have a platinum trophy on the PS3 edition. I love Arkham Asylum that much. Arkham City, the sequel, was even better. Another platinum trophy on that one. So, did I make a video on those classic games?
No!
And why is that?
I'm kind of retarded. Wake me up!
Wake me up inside!
I can't wake up!
Wake me up inside!
Save me!
Save me from the dark!
Wake me up! I can't wake up! Save me!
Repeat it after me, bitch. I come in the name of Jesus by the power of the Holy Spirit.
Look, I knew this wasn't a bona fide classic or a hidden gem. A quick search on the web details the mediocre reception the game got back in 2003 when it came out. And truth be told, I didn't expect a whole lot. But I have this weird fascination with, and love for, older, crappy games, especially ones that I never got to try when they were released. But this love often comes with heartbreak. Case in point, Batman: Rise of Sin Tzu. To put it mildly, this game sucks butt. Let me be subtle. I would rather resurrect Andrew Jackson from the dead and have him micturate on my hair, right there on the lawn of the White House in front of my entire family, than play through this pile of shit again. That's 200-year-old piss. The $15 I paid for this game was too high, much less the $50 it would have cost when it was just coming out. But money is temporary and fleeting, and we shouldn't waste precious life obsessing over it. The time I lost finishing this heap of shit, however, will never return. Hours and hours down the crapper. But hey, here's a video about it.
PSA, don't flush feminine hygiene products.
Okay, so all kidding aside, when I first booted this digital scat, I was charmed initially. I'm a huge fan of Batman the Animated Series. I own the collection on Blu-ray. It was a massive part of my childhood, and the quality of the animation and the stories in the show still hold up tremendously well. So when I was researching this game and saw that the art style was meant to emulate the show's look, I was intrigued. And to the game's credit, the graphics do a great job of replicating the look of the animated series. Loading screens have the same style as the title cards from the show, and all of the characters are modeled and animated like they came straight from the series. Fun facts: Batman: Rise of Sin Tzu uses the renderware engine like the last game I reviewed, Manhunt. It was also released in November of 2003, 1 week before Manhunt. Neither of those facts are interesting or fun. Anyway, the cutscenes look great, and I really do love the semi-cell shaded / animated series look. In-game animations are pretty impressive for 2003. Capes flow nicely, and the way Batman in particular moves while in combat resembles the grace and power he was animated with in the television series. While we're on the positives, the voice acting in the game is phenomenal. Kevin Conroy, the definitive voice of Batman, lends his talents to Rise of Sin Tzu, and, without jest, I could listen to the guy read a Waffle House menu and be entertained. His voice is like a warm blanket, and the world is now slightly worse without him in it. Bob Hastings returns as Jim Gordon, as he was in the animated series. No complaints there. As he did in the show, Ron Perlman returns to voice Clayface. Even though I can't stand Perlman's corny, tough guy public image, his voice acting is excellent, particularly with villainous characters. Also, it's ironic he voices Clayface, and his character from Sons of Anarchy is named, well, the best casting choice is Jeffrey Combs as Jonathan Crane, aka Scarecrow. It's kind of weird that such an awesome actor did such a small part for this game, but appreciated nonetheless. If you're not sure who Jeffrey Combs is, watch Reanimator and then nod accordingly. Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa voices Sin Tzu, and I couldn't imagine a better choice. For what limited on-screen time he has, and given how lame the character is, Cary does a great job.
The art of war is deceit. First, you must attack your enemy when he least expects it. In a place where he feels strong, but is in fact weak.
The story begins when we see Batman visiting Crime Alley to lay a rose down on the anniversary of his parents' untimely demise. The cutscene is awesome and really quite strong for an early 2000s teen-rated game. Then, things get simplified. Batman is alerted that breakouts at Stonegate Prison and Arkham Asylum are occurring, and he's got to stop the bad guys. There's a mysterious new foe behind it all, and Bruce needs to figure out who and why. Woo! As the game progresses, we find out that a legendary Asian warlord,
Unspecified origin.
Sin Tzu, is behind everything. The thing is, I'm not really sure why. Despite the excellent visual style and stellar cast of talented actors, the story is about as deep as a puddle. Sin Tzu wants to control Gotham, I think. To what end? He was in Arkham for some sort of observation, I think. Okay. He wanted to bring a weapon of mass destruction to Gotham. Ooh, whoa, shit. A bomb? Nah, dude. It's literally just Bane, who you defeat by making him lose his balance, and then you punch him a bunch of times. Seriously. Alrighty, the story sucks, but so does the story in Crysis, and I still love playing that game. How about the gameplay in Rise of Sin Tzu? Does it redeem the lame story? Fuck no, dude. Rise of Sin Tzu's gameplay is about as fun as getting your turgid knob trapped in a Coke bottle. It starts out kind of promising. You can select one of 4 characters, which is kind of cool. Nightwing, Robin, Batgirl, and Batman are all playable out of the gate and have their own upgrade trees. The game can be played cooperatively as well, so you can convince your friend that you have shit taste in games and waste their time.
Gotta move!
The action is a simple beat-em-up style, wherein the player travels through a series of linear levels and bashes some thugs along the way. This style of gameplay in and of itself is just fine. Some of my favorite games are beat-em-ups. like Streets of Rage 2 and Golden Axe. At the end of each level, you get points, which can be used to level up your hero with some new moves and gadgets. Some of the gadget upgrades are fairly effective, like a ricochet batarang or the smoke pellet. With each blow landed, Batman builds up a super meter, which allows him to unleash some devastating moves that do superior damage for a period of time. While not as layered or as intricate as the hand-to-hand combat from the Arkham games, the combos, in conjunction with use of gadgets, makes for a solid foundation for this type of game. So with all this praise, you might be wondering where Batman Rise of Sin Tzu earned its garish tongue lashing from the start of this video. Herein lies the rub. Any time this game feels like it's finding its stride, something comes along to ruin it. You'll get a little bit of a combat flow going and can appreciate what Ubisoft was striving for. And then some annoying bullshit will happen and have you cursing at your television like a big man-child. Scarecrow toxins are annoying. The screen gets all wavy and hazy like you're entering heat stroke on a pontoon boat. The game will put up invisible walls that don't vanish until you defeat a certain number of baddies. This is pretty common in beat 'em ups, but it's really stupid and corny when you're constantly running out of time and a bad guy is stuck behind the invisible wall, leaving you to back up and hope he charges you so that you may attack him again. Oh, and the time limit thing? Every fucking level, dude. Every single stage has the same monotonous objectives to complete in a time limit. Rescue a number of citizens held hostage by walking into a glowing spot. Defuse a number of bombs by walking into a glowing spot. Defeat a number of enemies in a small area. Fight a boss. That's it. Enemies are broken up between easy thugs, heavy thugs, and thugs that shoot annoying projectiles. They change appearance based on their villainous affiliation, but it's all superficial. It's the same shit in each level. Walk along, punch, kick, punch, repeat. It's just so tedious. And there are more frustrating aspects to the combat. If a heavy enemy grabs you, you just gotta sit there and take your beating while watching the time limit count down. No counter move is available. Yay! You don't appear to have any invincibility frames either. If a projectile knocks you over, another projectile can land on you, and again without relief. You just have to keep taking it up the chute. No lube, no ice. And just when you think you've button mashed every generic bad guy on the board, another squad of Jersey Shore karate masters comes out of the sewers and shouts, "Whack him!" about 50 times per battle. You just mash your way through as you watch the timer counting down. And if you've saved 4 out of the 6 hostages but you ran out of time, guess what? Start over and repeat the tedium.
You motherfucker!
The last level is the ultimate test of patience, and I almost gave up and just made the video as is. You are tasked with rescuing 9 citizens.
9 times.
In, you guessed it, a time limit. It's a slog through Sin Tzu's troops, armed with claws like Vega from Street Fighter, and shooting this magical ball of Eastern esoteric bullshit magic that inverts all of your controls for a period of time. And they just spam this nonsense over and over the entire time. Remember, no invincibility frames, so if you get ganged up on by clawmen, well, too goddamn bad. Just take it and lose your health bar. This is capped off by quite possibly the worst boss fight ever made against Sin Tzu. He dashes around until he does a series of attacks that you have to dodge in order. and you can't do any damage to him until you have a full special meter and can do special damage attacks. In between attacks, he sends out waves of the exact same thugs you just fought in various levels before the boss fight.
You made the worst mistake a general can make. And what would that be? You misjudged your enemy.
The ending cinematic is lame, and Sin Tzu just sort of loses the yin-yang on his forehead, okay? The game suggests that you then try a tougher difficulty. I shan't be doing that. There's also a challenge mode if you really want to continue to mash buttons and listen to the shitty, grating soundtrack if you hate yourself that much. So, in summary, if you couldn't tell by my abstruse commentary on this game, I thought it sucked and it made me rage. I tend to think of anger as a weak emotion. It's a point at which you've begun to lose control and are relinquishing your emotions to what it is that seeks to control you. You're letting something live in your head rent-free. Well, fine. I guess I was as weak as a brittle branch under the treads of a tank during Batman Rise of Sin Tzu, because I hated it and I lost my temper several times over. I couldn't help it. As I said, there are positives, but I am perplexed as to how Ubisoft could make such a boring, paint-by-numbers game with such an amazing license behind it. That's also my review of Far Cry 6.
Hell! And you know Whitey always told you, a man can't be God, huh? This motherfucker, you fucked up, huh? You fucked up, huh? You know your ass is doomed.
Thank you for watching. I thought I would lighten the tone up a little bit after the last video dealt with such a serious and gritty subject matter. Stay tuned for more. I have a whole lot cooking. And if you're feeling down, I want you to remember something. I love you.